Hello, everybody. I'm going to talk about something that is kind of embarrassing and very sensitive to me. I'm going to talk about my gap year. It's kind of like this strange, blurry phase in my life because it was really difficult for me. And hold on, I can't really look at myself, so I just switched windows. It might be a long conversation, but I need to get everything out. Not everything, maybe. I don't know how this will go, but I tried to record this multiple times trying to explain it, but it's just strange. And then just now I saw a video, and it was a person, it was called like that high school friend that's doing pretty good. And then this guy goes to meet him, and his house is all broken down and everything. It's kind of like a comedic thing because he's in the woods, he has no roof and or everything. And then he's like, oh yeah, cool, yeah, I was just driving. And then he goes back and he's like, oh, you know who I bumped into? Like, he was calling his friend after he left. Like, you thought one was well off and then the other one was kind of like struggling, but he's doing pretty well. He has no bathroom or anything, and the house is all caved in. And then it zooms out, and he's actually, the other friend that visited that broken house friend is sleeping in his car. But they avoided all of that confrontation by just having small talk. And I was like, I relate to this so much. And then I saw that it had 4.7 million views and comments that were relating to it. And it's just so strange, you know? I mean, I can't really gather a full consensus of how the world sees things, but my case isn't such a strange case if you really think about it. Because if it's able to happen, it happened. If it happened, it's able to happen. That's what I mean. Okay, let me get right into it. So I started off basically I experienced isolation, depression, hopelessness. I questioned if God even existed, and I felt so lonely. And you know, there would be moments where I would just feel like, I just like grunt to myself because I was so frustrated. You know, I would put my head on the table like that because I was just so frustrated. You know, the world is right here, and I'm here and I could do anything, but the world felt so small. It felt like anything I do, it's just things I do and can't get any better than that. If I go to the coffee shop, all I'm doing is going to the coffee shop and having coffee, and it's a temporary feeling, and then I'll come home and goodness doesn't exist. It felt like that, and I felt misunderstood, and I didn't know what to look for. I didn't know how to help myself, and I stopped posting so much on Instagram that time because I was literally doing nothing. I spent weeks on end in my room, not leaving. I didn't have a job, and things were very expensive. So I never really took the sacrifice to go out and do something for myself, by myself. Plus, after all that isolation, it made me afraid of the world. It made me afraid to socialize, to walk around. I was looking at the mirror and I wasn't seeing something I was proud of. You know, my face started becoming more uneven, and I was breaking out, and my hair was oily, and I hadn't showered, and every day it was the same thing over and over and over and over again. Wake up, go downstairs, eat, come upstairs, spend the rest of the time in my room. Now, during my gap year, I wanted to discover more about life, about human needs and anthropology and what will innately make us human. So I was thinking about how humans need a purpose, but what about when we're just by ourselves or something, or when we don't have that stress of school and structure and everything. And I found it, sorry, I don't know how to make this quick and snappy. Yeah. I just won't force myself to make it quick and snappy. I'm just gonna talk as it comes. Another thing is I wanted to write a new education system, and I wanted to get closer to designing a new society. Instead, I got closer to designing an app, and I got close to a friend, but it was this reliance on other people to make myself happy that was making me not happy. I needed to realize that I needed to hone it on myself. And I was taking tarot readings and everything. Honestly, it was so difficult. It felt like such a strange period. Like a year was just taken out of my life. And when I saw people, I could be happy and everything. Happy, well, I didn't even know what happiness was anymore. And sometimes nowadays I feel it more often. Like I'm able to be like, I think I'm happy. Back then it was just like, am I happy? What is happiness? I don't think I am. I don't know. I didn't remember the last time I felt happy. And I felt really unsupported by people I loved. They were trying to do the best for me, but they were actually putting quite a bit of pressure on me. And that's one of the reasons I refrained from talking about this so much. It was just so stressful. And I'm grateful for it because it really, my purpose in life is to better humanity, to help people live happier lives. I mean, if we have one life before death, why are we doing it? Why are we spending it in ways we don't wish to, without even realizing? So I want to help people. So I'm really grateful for this perspective on a huge chunk of the world who go through depression and isolation and feel like there's nowhere left to go. And I feel like the sooner I'm able to get stuff out there and help people, the more lives will be saved. And so during my gap year, I cultivated knowledge, not in one specific way, like, oh, I read here, that blah, 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 but through different inputs and even the most simple things like Pinterest and Instagram, it gave me insight into, what can help humans maybe become happier or healthier. Yeah. Anyways. There are so many teenagers and people in general who just go through so much stuff. And we literally don't share it with each other. And we can share it with each other. Okay, I am still afraid to share my deepest things with people. I don't want people to know that, I'm not really close to many people. I'm not many people's first choice. Yeah. And it's hard for me. I mean, I'm kind of used to having one best friend, and I stopped having that. I stopped feeling supported. And I knew I was waiting for, my summer camp internship to happen, or for me to start uni after my gap year, for things to get better. And weirdly, that wait and the time I reached, the time for me to stay at uni and stuff like that, is the time that I became happy happier like I predicted. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still have tough times, but it's not like constant tough times, consistent. So many people actually go through this, and it's just, people like to leave when things get difficult. People like to leave when you talk to them too much or rely on them too much. So actually what helped me is saying that I'm the only one that's responsible for my happiness. This I don't believe is true, because we are codependent creatures. I mean, interdependent, you know? We need community and we need all that stuff. But the second that I started saying, I am the one that's responsible for myself, I am the one who needs to make sure this is done and this is done and this is done, and I'm doing this, and I'm gonna better myself. That's when things got better. And you know, I'm lucky. I get to go to university. But think about all the people who don't have that structure, who don't have the people yearning for their success. You know, maybe start off at a new business or company, and you know, they're just looking for the next best person who can do the job. And if it's not you, then yeah. I don't really know that perspective because I'm a student, and I'm gonna keep this quite short, but it's just so difficult, and talking about it is amazing. Talk about it to as many people as you like, and 50 people can leave you, and 1 will stick around, or 2 will stick around. Or hone in on yourself and only speak when people are ready to listen. I don't really know what to say that'll make things okay, but just know that it's okay. It is okay. And there's a way to justify that I can't exactly put my finger on right now. Whatever you are feeling is completely okay. And okay, what would I have done differently if I was in my gap year? Okay, I read this amazing, I haven't finished it, but it's called Follow Your Heart. It really helped me. It helped me so much. Follow your heart, Wizard Liz. Though, don't just blindly follow anybody. If you don't agree with one thing, acknowledge that. Sorry, there's a hair in my mouth. On my lips. If you don't agree with something, realize that. And then financial security. That's very important for mental well-being. Not like shaving yourself to the core or looking for intricate jobs, but honestly, what would I have done? I'd probably get a job, like my family said. I'd get a job. Should I have moved out? Oh dear. My family kind of told me this, and it was so much pressure. Okay, yeah. Anyways, it doesn't... Actually, we all have our own journeys, but maybe I would have... Well, with the knowledge I have now, I wouldn't have gotten this knowledge. I don't know, but I don't think I would have gotten all this knowledge that I have now if I had gone straight for a job. But to make myself happy, I would put myself in a job, start saving some money, exercise, super important. Exercise. So once you have that financial security, that's less of a burden. Then you can think about other possibilities. I don't know what advice I'm giving right now. You don't have to listen to my advice. I just want you to know that it's okay. It's okay. Now I'm gonna get ready for bed. It's 4 a.m. And have hope for the future. The future is what we make of it. sometimes. Just have hope, don't lose hope. That's something that I feel our generation struggles to have. Gen Z generation, and anybody that's living in this current age. Because, back then it was like, ooh, the future's gonna be all futuristic, and now we're like, AI's gonna take over, it's gonna be robot wars, and there's genocides going on, and things can be very grim, but it's strange that if we stick together and we actually help one another, we can make the world the most beautiful place, and that it already kind of is. But we just focus on the beauty and make it good together. The difficult part is finding each other. So you just gotta be brave. And maybe like if you have a certain goal in mind, like for me, I want to build a kingdom. With a new societal system, and perhaps a new education system, and living in accordance with nature, with people. So then I started to notice people who could help me work on it. You start to notice this when you have a goal in mind. So if I needed help to get the ball rolling and everything, I could start, and then I know I kind of have a rough idea of who might be open to starting it with me. Yeah. And who would potentially want to live there. Just think about what you want your life to be. I mean, I'm not all like the wise, but take what you feel resonates with you, and if it doesn't help you, I mean, that's just the things that don't help you, just leave it. Okay? You are divinely loved. I felt inclined to say that. Don't know why. The fact, okay, I was looking at some Pinterest posts. I don't exactly remember what I saw, but it reminded me of the fact that the people who are still here are the hopeful. We are the people who are positive and have made it. We're here. We're here. And we can do it. We've got each other. And that's a lot for love. Now, see your world and okay, either or, and follow your heart if you feel it might help. Not bye-bye. We're always together. All of us. See ya.